Hi guys, the name is Mark, and just want to do a couple of videos on things. And basically, we're going to talk about a quagmire slash paradox. I'm going to come at you in two ways, which is to say, be of the mind, always be conscientious of what's going on, and then other times to be of no mind. So you can see a quagmire of paradoxes here. How can I be of the mind and at the same time yet be of no mind? And what all does this mean? Because you can see how there's a lot of confusion in the spiritual world, and there should be no confusion because that which you seek is inside of yourself, okay? It's never on the outside, it's always on the inside, right? So what you are seeking is also seeking you, and this is basically called your law of attraction. And like basically I'm going to come at you in two ways. Thought inhibits flow. So when you're trying to think too much, it's really getting in the way, and then you're having difficulty, and then why is this becoming a fight, and it's so hard to do, and it's a task, and it's a chore. So basically, thought inhibits flow, and you'll hear people say no mind. Now, on the other side of the coin, okay, basically all is thought, and thought manifests into form. So all is mental. So before you proceeded into your form of a body, there was a thought, there was mentalism going on here, and that thought transmutated into your physical form. Okay, people, we're not just getting into it's a matter of some seed in an egg and two drops of protoplasm collided together, and that's definitely part of it. But all is thought, and thought manifests into form, and all is mental. So now we're going to get into a couple of things here. So like, what does it mean when somebody says no mind? And well, basically no mind is kind of like when you're sitting on the beach, the sand is warm, the sun is just right, it's not too hot, it's not too cold, the sun is just right, you're laying in the sand, you're down by the river, the ocean, whatever, you're breaking twigs, you're just listening to the birds and the bees without even realizing that you're listening to the birds and the bees. And effectively, it's almost like a daydream state where you just have no mind. And I know this may sound difficult for a lot of people to obtain in that, but this is already inside you, okay, people? And it's not just about finding the right environment. You can do this anytime. And actually, it's like a form of self-hypnosis is what it is. But basically, so getting back to all is mental, and thought turns into form and stuff like that, right? Basically what happens is you have to be of the mind before you can be of no mind, and it goes like this. For example, only when I play guitar so much and I learn and I learn and I'm of the mind, right? Even though that inhibits flow, what happens is the more I learn, say once you have about 10,000 hours in something, well then you've done it so much that you don't even have to think about doing it anymore. You could basically do it in your sleep. You could do it while you're sleepwalking, and you could almost do everything with your eyes closed. And because you've done it like 100 kabajillion times. And a friend of mine once said something years ago, which is basically only when you are so sick of doing something, only then do you know how to truly do it. And he was right. So we have a whole world full of mind and mentalism, and everybody's getting emotional and stuff. And what it comes down to is, yes, you have to be conscientious of what is going on without being emotional, because you have to ask yourself, is this logical? So being of the mind is not being emotional, okay, people? If you are getting emotional and I can make you angry or upset, well, then basically I can own your ass and I can make you do things because that you would not normally do because you're getting emotional. Now, if I can't make you emotional, okay, we're talking about mind over matter again here, and is this logical? Then if I don't make you upset or angry, well, then you don't mind, it doesn't matter. You see how this is going? Otherwise, if you minded, it would matter, and you would probably antagonize your central nervous system and make yourself sick. Okay, it's full of envy, full of hate, whatever it is, right? Jealousy, a lot of these things. So you can see how where you have to be of the mind and you have to be unconscious, right? And so that's almost like a pickle, but it's not a pickle, because when you're logical and you're conscientious, right? Like, why is this person, rather than getting all emotional, why is this person trying to make me mad? That's the logical question. And then you might go, oh, I see. And okay, well, you know what? It's no big deal. And why should I get mad? I'm going to stay logical, and I'm going to enjoy listening to the birds and the bees and taking a sip of my coffee today, right? Why allow anybody to make your blood boil? So now, getting back to no mind, okay, thought can inhibit flow. Like a prime example, if I'm trying to show somebody something on the guitar because I'm thinking and I'm trying, that's inhibiting my flow. You'll notice in life, when you are not trying to do something and you're in the zone, and I'm sure y'all know what I'm talking about when I say you're in the zone, you're of no mind and things just flow. Maybe you're a pool player, you're banging in balls, you're not even trying, and that's why they're going in. But at the same time, you've also spent 10,000 hours of being in the mind and doing and looking at every possible angle for these balls to get sunk into their pockets, okay? And or to create combinations and 3 banks into the side, or up and down, you know, whatever it is. So basically, people, that's what this whole video comes down to. And you are a mirror, okay? This might sound crazy to you, but whatever's inside of you is also what's getting projected outside of you, because it's inside of you. So as within, so without, as above, so below. You can see all this stuff, right? So what's going on is, because all the stuff's inside you, it's sorry, I'm losing my train of thought here a little bit, but anyhow, getting back to it, you can see how you have to be of the mind. You have to say, put in more than 10,000 hours, and then you start becoming good at something. But after those 10,000 hours, what you're doing is, when you're trying to learn something, you're trying to use 100% of your brain juice to learn something. When you've spent 10,000 hours and you've learned this stuff and you've did this stuff and you can do it in your sleepwalk, well, basically now you're only using a fraction of the percentage of your brain power, like maybe 1%, to operate at 100%, but you're not using the other 99% of your brain. So therefore, you're not being of the mind when you're playing guitar, and hence you are in the zone, okay? I think this is a very important video, because I see a lot of this spirituality crap, but they'll have you believe in you got to wait till the next guru comes out, and you know, everything you want is outside of yourself, and it's not. And we're going to talk about something else. All is mental, and thought manifests into form, and at the same time, once that transpires and you know your stuff and you're not trying and you're not being of the mind, then you come into the zone, which is the flow. And if you're thinking, thought will inhibit flow. So that's why when you have 10,000 hours, once again, into something and more, you've done something so much that only when you're sick of it and you've done it so much, then when you can do it, you can truly do it blindfolded and your eyes closed and you're half asleep. Only then do you know your stuff, and that's where you're coming out of the thought, because you spent the 10,000 hours or more, and now you came out of the thought, and now you're into the zone of, instead of trying to use 100% of your brain power to formulate everything, now you're only using 1%. It's like, say for example, you haven't been to school in years, like I hadn't been to school in years, but yet, like if I saw this electrical stuff, it would probably only take me 1/10 of the time to relearn it, because the mud, I've thrown enough mud, and that mud has stuck over the course of the years. Do you follow me, people? So I hope this video helps. Like when people say no mind, basically you want to be of no mind, and you want to be in the zone, and you just want to flow like you're relaxing on the beach with your children and the wife and whatever, and just everything is cool, right? And sometimes, like, you're going to be at work and you have to be of the mind, but when you have enough experience, then you are flowing, as opposed to being of the mind, trying to use 100% of your brain, as opposed to, say, like 1%, right? Because you've done everything so much. So I hope this video helps. You know, all thought manifests into form. You are basically a mirror, and what is being projected out from inside of you to the outside is what's being attracted. It's just a mirror. You know, like these people, they make these manifestations and they think, well, I'll write this down on a blackboard and it's going to manifest. But that's not the way it works. And I'll give you a prime example. Like, say you're poor and you want money. So if you're telling yourself, I need money and I want money, well, then you're going to find a world where if you truly don't believe that this will come to you, you're going to get everything but that. And then people will go, well, I'm doing all these manifestation techniques and stuff like these gurus tell me. How come they're not working? They're simply not working, people, because you have to believe, even if you're starving right now or you don't have money to pay your bills, you actually, if you start believing that, say you're rich and you're wealthy inside and you actually believe in yourself, you're not saying, well, you know, I've been hurt in the past, I'd like to get into a relationship, but because I've been hurt in the past, well, see, now you have the because you've been hurt in the past, how are you going to meet somebody nice? Because you're carrying old baggage from the past, right? And you can't live in the past and you can't live in the future, and you have to live in the present. And that's why it's called the present. It's right now. And so you have to remain in your presence, right? You know, and you remain in your presence in the present. And this is where, like, say, for example, you'll meditate and stuff, and people think, oh, well, you're meditating to clear your mind. Quite often you're meditating so the universe will talk to you and it'll say, quit drinking, quit smoking, quit this, quit that. And this is why you meditate, right? You're not meditating to seek bliss and all that stuff. No, you're meditating to go within so that you can heal yourself and look at all the stupid things we do, and then it'll be, hey, quit smoking, quit this, quit that, right? And the universe you start having these inner dialogues with the universe, and you start becoming unlimited, which means no limits. On the outside of ourselves, it's always a limited world, right? When I get done high school, and then I'll go to university, then when I'm done university, I'll become a doctor, then I'll pay for my university to say that I paid for my doctorate. And you follow me, people? Everything is always outside of yourselves. And again, this is where of the mind, right? All thought is mental, and mental is thought, and mental turns into form, right? And a prime example is, look around, man. You know, there's form to everything, and everything was mental, man. The thought preceded the form and turned into form. So when you realize why things aren't manifesting and stuff, like, if you truly believe, like, say, for example, like, you believe in every fiber, like, I'm going to escape this Nazi death camp or something, chances are you will escape, and the ether will mirror exactly what you want because you believed in yourself. Now, if you're in a Nazi death camp going, well, I'd like to escape, but I don't think I can do it, and you try it anyhow, you'll probably get shot and thrown in a ditch, you know? So this is kind of how this stuff goes, people. If you're going to manifest, you have to believe in every ounce and fiber, and at the same time, like, you something else, like, if you want to constantly be let down in life, have expectations, right? So have no expectations. Don't be of the mind, no expectations, no judgment. And you'll see, once you start giving that stuff away, that your inner beliefs will start manifesting. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to meet a nice girl, this is why you stay in the present. Like, if you want to meet a nice girl, if you're out chasing women, you are not going to meet a nice girl. But yet is where, if you're probably sitting there, you're remaining present, a nice girl will walk up and start talking to you. This is how it goes, people, okay? I'm not pulling some hooky-pooky guru voodoo bullshit on you, nothing like this. I'm just sharing this because I share so many things, and then people honestly don't have the foggiest clue what a lot of people are talking about. And then again, you have a lot of people out there who are talking, and they don't even know what they're talking about. And then you live in a world of explaining. So they're explaining, they're removing themselves from their higher plane. You follow me, people? And we were never meant to explain ourselves, and that's why silence is golden, right? And speech is silver. Look within, remain present, and just remember that what you truly mirror, like, if you mirror, like, I'd like to be in a relationship, but I don't want to get hurt again, you're going to wind up in another relationship and you're going to get hurt again. You have to give up the expectations, you have to give up the past, and you have to remain in the present. You know what I mean? So many people, they talk just to hear themselves talk. talk, or they talk to say they're right and stuff. And you know what people truly want? It's like your children. You don't need to be sitting beside your children and everybody's babbling. You and your child could be sitting on a fishing boat, not saying anything, and just sitting there with grinning ear to ear. You follow me, people? And this speaks louder than words. Okay, so presence is, you know what I mean? Like any daughter who's had a loving father will know what presence is. And the father wasn't trying to convert his daughter into this and into that. The father allowed his daughter to be and to grow. Right? You follow me? And it was just the presence of the father being there. And you ask how many people, like, if they've had a real father, if they truly miss their father or not, especially daughters, man. If a daughter really loses a father that was a loving father and was a real good man and never brought harm and just was always there when the child needed, being present in the presence, right? So anyhow, people, again, you have to be of the mind in order to learn and stuff, but after you have 10,000 hours and stuff, then it comes into no mind when you can do what you did of the mind with very minimal thought. You follow me, people? And this is called experience, right? And so anyhow, I hope this video finds you well. I send everybody green lights. I'm not trying to get all spiritually hokey pokey on you and all that stuff. This is just stuff like I realized years ago, right? So I'm going to leave it at that. And till then, keep your heads up, your sticks on the ice. Love you all. Namaste. Cheers. Bye. Peace.